Hey, what's going on guys, Oscarmini here and welcome back to the channel. Right here is the Infinix Note 6, which is a Note device from Infinix for 2019. And in this video, we're going to be talking about the features, specification, and everything about the smartphone. So without taking much of your time, yo guys, let's get started. Okay, out of the box, the first thing you're greeted with is the smartphone itself, which already feels great to hold. Next up is an envelope that houses the user manual, some paperwork, the SIM ejector tool, and a light screen protector. A layer down, you can pick up the TPU case to protect your Note device. Other things included in the box are the charger, which adjusts its output based on the load connected, the micro USB cable to transfer data and charge up this device, and then the wired earpiece. Setting the Infinix Note 6 up took about 2 minutes and I had everything up and running. You still have the face unlock and fingerprint for security, but as always, I'd usually stick to the fingerprint option as it's more secure. Holding up the smartphone, it really feels sturdy and well built. To the rear is a triple camera setup with a 16-megapixel main shooter, 8-megapixel ultra-wide and 2-megapixel bokeh sensor. Beside that is the dual flash setup. A little lower, you get to see the fingerprint sensor in the most appropriate rear position. As usual, you get the Infinix Note branding downwards. The top side comes bland, while the left side houses the SIM tray for dual 4G nano SIMs and a dedicated micro SD card slot. The right side, on the other hand, spots the volume rocker and a power button with a yellow accent on this aqua blue variant I have here. The bottom is packed with a 3.5mm jack port, the mouthpiece opening, a micro USB 2.0 port. I had actually expected Type-C in 2019 from the Infinix Note line. Next up is the speaker grill, which I almost always block out while gaming, and by the speaker is the stylus, which makes this device a Note. Doesn't this bottom remind you of the Samsung Galaxy Note 5? A trip to the front of the smartphone actually does kinda disappoint you in terms of the design. There are huge bezels at the top and bottom, with the top featuring the earpiece, a 16-megapixel selfie camera, an LED flash and also a notification LED next to the flash. What the Infinix Note 6 does let us down with the front design that's unlike anything great in 2019, it does make up for with an AMOLED 6.01-inch display with a resolution of 1080 by 2160, an aspect ratio of 18:9 and approximately a 402 ppi density. Screen to body ratio here is about 81%. Colors were really vibrant on this display, and this is a device that can be easily used outdoors without straining one's eye. One thing I wish I had control over from the settings was the color temperature, as I really didn't like the oversaturation of colors here. That's just my take, as most other people felt it was a plus. YouTube videos can be seen at up to 1080p from the AMOLED display on this smartphone. The Note 6 packs a triple camera setup at the rear, which lines up from top to bottom, the 2-megapixel bokeh sensor, the 16-megapixel main shooter, the 8-megapixel wide-angle lens at 120 degrees, and also an LED flash. Pictures coming off this camera look pretty much good for the price, though they tend to come off as being more saturated than most devices in this price range. The main camera features a couple modes which include video, AI cam, beauty, bokeh, AR shots and panorama, basically all the modes available to Infinix in 2019. The key here to taking great photos with the Infinix Note 6, as with other smartphones, rely heavily on how well your subject is lit. The wide-angle lens comes in handy when taking group photos or you are in a tight corner trying to fit in a wider scene into a photo. One more thing I noticed was the fact that photos coming off the wide-angle lens were kinda soft and not as sharp as the main camera. Bokeh mode was great, close to what we got from the S4. Edge detection was most times usable and gave pretty decent photos. When it came to the video department, the video isn't bad to use at this price point. It had a better dynamic range than last year's Note, but you won't be able to switch between the wide and main lens during a video like it's possible with the Huawei Y9 Prime. You get up to 1080p footage from both the front and rear lenses. Speaking of the front lens, photos did come out looking sharp, saturated, and selfies were pretty much okay. One thing I noticed was that the dominating background color could shift your photo in that direction, especially while taking a portrait selfie. Here's a sample video from the front-facing 16-megapixel lens on the Infinix Note 6. Hey, what's going on guys? Oscarmini here, and this is a front-facing camera audio and video test from the Infinix Note 6. And the front-facing camera is a 16-megapixel shooter, and it gives you a lot of details to your shots. I'm being lit here by a natural light source from the window. You guys should let me know what you think in the comment section below about this camera. Right off the bat, you get 4GB and 64GB RAM and ROM respectively. Out of the box, I saw about 52GB available for use, and you should know that it's expandable via a dedicated microSD card slot, and this smartphone runs on XOS Cheetah 5.0, which is based on Android 9 Pie. Running day-to-day operations is a MediaTek Helio P35 processor, which is an octa-core 2.3GHz 12nm chipset. For the GPU, we have the PowerVR GE8320, which is same as on the S4. Performance was very much okay with a great RAM management, although I did notice that the Note 6 would drop memory-intensive apps more than I expected. It quite did happen a couple times, but I wasn't able to get that on record. You could run your games such as PUBG, but not at the highest settings to get a usable experience. You definitely get those occasional lags and stutters here and there, and more so the Note 6 tends to quickly heat up while gaming for an extended period. The Stylus here, or X Pen as Infinix refers to it, is definitely one for productivity. Pulling it off the smartphone launches a menu for note-taking, screenshots, painting, and a little more. Note-taking on the Note 6 felt a tad bit faster than that on the Note 5 Stylus from 2018, and I really did love the color mashup from yellow to blue on the Stylus. Other than that, the improvement on the X Pen is quite minor. I might have to make a separate video on the Stylus if that's something you'd want to see on this channel. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments. When it comes to the battery life, this is another aspect where the Note 6 shines. With a 4000 mAh battery, you are sure to get over a day's use on the smartphone. Used this for a couple days and I didn't have to worry about losing charge or having to scout for a charger to get more battery during my use. On checking the battery lab settings, you'd see over a day and 10 hours of on-screen time available to you from 100% charge. The best part about the battery here is the fact that it charges up quickly using Infinix's X-Charge feature. It took 21 minutes to get me from 0 to 50%, an additional 19 minutes to get to 92%, and an hour and 17 minutes in total to charge from 0 to 100%. This time, the Infinix Note 6 is priced lower than what we got the Note 5 Stylus from last year. I purchased my unit for 68,000 Naira, but you can get it now for about 65,000 Naira, which converts to $180 or roughly 9,500 pesos. So would I recommend the Infinix Note 6 to anyone in search of a smartphone, especially one for a little more productivity? Obviously yes. It does check out all the boxes for a smartphone at its price point. The only thing one might find to be a downside would be the front design with those thick bezels. If that's not something that will take away your sleep at night, straight up get the Infinix Note 6 as it brings value for its price. And there you have it, my full review on the Infinix Note 6. Do let me know what you think in the comment section about the smartphone, and if you did love this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up, and if you felt otherwise, do give it a thumbs down twice. Other than that, it's goodbye, and I'ma catch you in the next one. Cuídate.